all the mayhem. Governor Newsom, look at the youth of today in the state of California. What is going on? Parenting or the lack thereof. Now, these are young people. I'm assuming some of them are more than likely high school students. Maybe some have graduated high school. This, America, is your future. Yeah, this is your future, somebody's future. Now, whether it's going to be a future of prosperity or a future of theft and robbery, murder and mayhem, seems to be the recipe. We have a major issue in this country. I'm on the patio, so if you hear rain, that's why. We have a major issue in this country. How do you think this is going to turn out? It's not going to work out well. This is your future, to be destructive, not constructive. So I want to check out the educational system, and just to give you a few brief little shots here, check this out. Less than half of Los Angeles USD's class of 2019 are on track to graduate eligible for California's public universities. Less than half. That's 2019. Things aren't getting any better. We've had the pandemic. Now we're back in the schools. Do you think they've been productive the entire time? Less than half are on track to graduate eligible for California's public universities. You think they're going to trade schools, going to start a business? I highly doubt. This here, it says, learning loss data shows 40,000 Los Angeles high school students off track to graduate. 40,000 off track to graduate. So that means we need to kind of get you back on track to graduate. And let's be real. I am not trying to downplay it, but we're talking about a high school diploma. This is the norm. This is basic. We're not saying for them to get their undergraduate degree, a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Business Administration. We're talking about the norm, preschool, kindergarten, junior high, then high school. This is the norm. This is what everybody does in general. This is average. We're in 2022. 40,000 students are off track to graduate. So you already know that those 40,000 students, many of them, if they're women, are going to get pregnant. So, we'll have to pay the taxpayers. The other thing is, many of them will be committing crimes in jail. 40,000 young people off track. Where are the parents at? Where are the parents? These are high school students. You're not running anything besides your mouth and maybe your feet to degradation. Where are the parents? How is your child not on track to graduate? Again, this is just basic. It's an accomplishment, yeah, but let's not act like, oh my gosh, it's the norm. You graduate high school. So right there, you're going to have people who are going to contribute to the degeneracy of society, and they're going to contribute to the prison pipeline, because guess what? That's where many of them are going to end up. And some, unfortunately, will end up deceased. Look at this. California test scores. It says half of students meet English standards. Fewer meet math standards. Los Angeles Times. Half of students meet standards. Half. If we can't meet the standard, how are we going to excel? Fewer even meet the math standards. Wow. I just have to ask, where are the parents? Where are they? These kids are not running the show. These are just children. Meantime, you want to talk about China. The ratio of enrollment to graduation at compulsory education levels reached 94.8%, up 0.6% points percentage points in 2018. In 2019, governments at all levels stepped up efforts to implement favorable educational policies and measures for the children of migrant workers. But the ratio of enrollment to graduation at compulsory education level reached 94.8%. In 2021, the gross enrollment in tertiary education in China reached 57.8% of the respective age cohorts. How do you think, and this is just Los Angeles, so, and the question here is, what percentage of high school students going to university in China? Here you go. 57.8%. We can't even get these out of high school. And you really think you're going to compete? Really? And again, where are the parents? What are the parents doing? The schools can't raise your children, despite that funny skit by Jess Hilarious. Seriously, though. Where are the parents? And aside from where are the parents, what are the parents doing? This is your future. Learning loss data shows 40,000 Los Angeles high school students are off track to graduate. It says, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands. They need to add and put a book in your hands. It should be, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and put a book in your hand. Readers are leaders. Do you not understand? And then when they grow up, well, I didn't have an opportunity. Out of control. Out of control. 40,000 high school students in Los Angeles Unified School District are at risk of not graduating, including 6,000 this year, according to a news analyst that tracks the effects of school closures on students in the nation's second largest district. In middle school, about a third of students in the district are currently on grade level in reading and math. Some of the worst learning loss was found in the early grades, where reading skills decline the most in kindergarten and first grade compared to the 2019-2020 school year. About a third of students, say middle school, a third of students are currently on grade level in reading and math. Some of the worst learning loss was found in the early ages, in the early grades. So in early grades, aren't you like pretty much like leaving home and transitioning to school? Isn't it? Aren't you? That's when the early grades. So early grades, where are you coming from? Home. What's happening in the home? Why are we not reading to the children? It's sad to hear you have children sitting up in homes and there are no books. You have got to be kidding. I cannot relate to that. We always had books. I love books. I cannot understand. I can't comprehend it. Let's continue reading. With the district preparing to reopen in 2 weeks, and this here's an older read. The report from advocacy group Great Public Schools Now shows engagement in remote classes has sharply increased since the beginning of the pandemic. But even with that improvement, more than a third of middle and high school students weren't actively participating in online work last fall, the report found. What were you so busy doing? What were you so busy doing that you were not participating in the online work last fall? Again, what are the parents? What are the parents doing? Where are the parents? How are you not involved in your children's learning? I don't understand it. Look at the chart. High school, middle school, elementary. It says online participation rates increase between spring and fall, but at least a third of students in the upper grades are still not engaging regularly. Online participation rates increase between spring and fall, but at least a third of students in the upper grades are still not engaging regularly. What are they doing? Probably playing games. Quote, I am hopeful about the reopening of Los Angeles schools, but we cannot simply pick up where we left off. Reopening alone does not address the recovery needed. Anna Ponce, the executive director of the organization, wrote in the introduction to the report. Hans previously served as CEO of Camino Nuevo Charter Academy in Los Angeles. Whether the students are passing their classes this year has become a very important measure for understanding the impact of distance learning on students, the report said. That's because even though the district administers standardized assessments, participation rates were so low, the data was inclusive. The district administered standard assessments. Participation rates were so low, the data was inclusive. What were they doing? And what were they doing? Probably engaging in behavior like this. These young people, if correction is not made and made immediately, they're going to do nothing but become part of the system, and they're going to victimize other people and themselves. What were they doing? Here we've got participation. They're participating in a mob store event to terrorize the store, throwing things at the workers there, terrorizing those individuals, stealing and just robbing, acting foolishly. This here is participation and degradation. So you look at this, and then you look at the reports, you look at what the stats are saying, and then you look at China. What percentage of high school students go to university in China? 57.8%. Less than half in Los Angeles are even eligible. They probably can't even comprehend to get ready to move to university. We have a serious problem in this country. A serious problem. And a lot of it, I have to say, is attributed to parenting or the lack thereof. Again, you saw the report. The participation was so low. The report was inconclusive. But look, you got a whole lot of participation in this activity here. Let me know what you guys think. This is just horrendous. I cannot imagine this. The youth in California, they're the youth of today. What about tomorrow? I can guarantee you, looking at people, their tomorrow is going to be full of sorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And let me know your thoughts. Simply Said on YouTube, and I'm out. Sad. So sad.